Hey sneaker friends! So who doesn't love a pair of great slides? And by slides, I mean slides. Like flip-flops, but not flip-flops, slides. Nothing weird between your toes. Today, we're going to take a look at 4 different slides. We have 2 Nikes, a Hurley, and a Puma. They were the quickest ones I could kind of get a hold of and kind of check out the difference. So I'm going to show you all about the differences between all 4 of these and follow up with telling you which is my favorite and why. Okay, so when I buy a pair of slides, first of all, I buy them for the aesthetics first. And then very close seconds is also the weight. That's not true. It's the comfort, not weight. I don't really care about weight, at all, even though I weighed these and I'm gonna tell you about the weight, but let's see what we have to start with. Okay, so first things first, this is probably the most recognizable slide. I freaking love it. Puma. I got this on Saks Fifth Avenue actually, because Puma was sold out right away. This is a women's 7.5, and I got it for $70 on Saks Fifth Avenue. This is part of their Sophia Webster collection. This is the Nike Benassi Ultra JDI Ultra SE. And I got these on Nike.com. They were $40. This is the Hurley Fusion 2.0 slide. Now, I bought this actually on Nike's website also. You can buy Hurley's product on Nike's website. And it was $40. I also got the Nike Benassi Solar Soft. Okay, Solar Soft. And this one was $35. So right there off the top, this is your cheapest slide, but let's dig into the details. Okay, so what do I look for when I buy a slide? Well, I want it to be comfortable, right? I want it to be fun, look good, and be comfortable. So I got all these home and I tried them all on and I kept trying them until I found the most comfortable one. Well, I'll tell you what that is in a minute. First, we're gonna talk about some hardnesses. Okay, so I measured the hardness of all 4 of these sandals. And with hardness, I measure the durometer with this tool. I measure Shore A. And now some of these materials, it can be difficult to measure with, but basically you hold up the sandal, you put it on a flat area, and you press down and it shows you a reading. Pretty simple. So I measured the footbed. So footbed is the part that your foot touches. It's, if you will, the bed that your foot lays on for all of these. Now, the Puma was 55. The Hurley was 29. The Benassi Solar Soft was 24. And the Benassi Ultra SE Nike was 45. So if we look at those in order, you have Solar Soft, Hurley, JDI, Puma. Okay, so what does that hardness mean? That basically is the hardness that your foot is gonna feel underfoot. So when you step on it, that's the softness that your foot's gonna feel. Now, that's not the only thing in the cushioning of slides. Slides have a midsole and some have an outsole, but a lot of times it's all kind of combined into one. What I will say is that each of these slides measure different on the top than they do the bottom, which means there's some material and geometry manipulation going on to give you a more comfortable feel, which is awesome. So let's take a look at the midsole of each. Now, how I measured the midsole of each was literally on the side. So a footbed I measured on the top, midsole we're gonna measure on the side. And some of these do have geometry, so accuracy could be different. The most firm was Puma at 60, so the hardness of the midsole was 60. The next closest was the JDI at 51. And then we have Hurley at 46. And then you have the Benassi Solar Soft at 43. So again, this is the softest midsole. So the outsole, we're gonna look at 2 different things. We're gonna look at the hardness of it. We're also going to look at the geometry, which translates to the amount of flex grooves. So in terms of hardness for the outsole, it got a little bit more interesting here. So the firmest sandal was the JDI Benassi at 59. Then you had the Hurley at 58, followed by the Benassi Solar Soft at 53, and Puma at 40. So what's that mean? So Puma had the softest, the hardest was the JDI Benassi. So naturally, you do want those to be a little bit harder because they'll last longer, they'll be more durable. It's very surprising to me that the Puma slide actually has a softer outsole than it does midsole. So the outsole's 40 and the midsole's 60. And I think the reasoning behind that is there are skin. So this is, imagine this is an EVA foam and there's a skin going around the perimeter of it, plus it has painting on top. And I think overall that makes it just a much firmer sidewall. And the skin on this sandal or slide might be a little bit thick too, which might be making it more hard. But I was quite surprised to see the soft bottom, the 40 hardness on the bottom. It does feel softer. It actually feels a little softer than the footbed. Let's take a look at straps now. So in the 2 Nikes and 1 Hurley, each of these straps is padded. So there is padding between your foot and the strap, which makes it nice and comfortable. The Puma, you can see it's clear plastic. It has no padding. It's just plastic, so it doesn't have that level of comfort. Okay, outsole geometry. Now, why is outsole geometry important? Well, if there are no flex grooves in the outsole and the midsole's firm enough, it'll just be real slappy. So when you step, it'll just snap, and it won't feel quite as comfortable as if there's flex groove. If there's flex groove, it will lay your foot down in a much more natural, kind of like the foot does without anything on it. So it'll feel better, it will look better, and it'll feel more natural. So if we look at these sandals, if we take a look at the Puma, there's no flex grooves, and if we give it a little pull, it doesn't really flex very much. Now the Nike JDI Benassi, it's got a little bit more flex for the same amount. You can see it has some flex grooves in here, but it does have a pretty solid, thick perimeter, which is not allowing it to flex as much as it would if it didn't have that. They did put little flex grooves in the perimeter, but overall, it's pretty stiff to flex. To me, the Puma feels slappy, so does this one. Now, the Hurley one, you're gonna notice, this is the same pattern that you find on the bottom of Free. So it's articulated and it has lots of flex grooves. So this one is super flexible and you can totally tell when you walk in it. It flexes underfoot, feels very nice. And now the Benassi Solar Soft, you're gonna notice a similar pattern to the Hurley. It has the flex grooves in it down the center and on the side. So you're gonna notice it is actually quite flexible. Plus it has a softer midsole and a softer outsole, which allows it to flex even more. So overall, this shoe is the most flexible, the Hurley, and then the Solar Soft Nike, followed by, these two are kind of the same. There's not much difference between them actually in flex. Now, here's what we've all been waiting for, the underfoot feel, right? So that's like, what does the footbed feel like? How does it transition when you take step, like when you walk in it, how is the flexibility? And I put them all on, both feet, and I kept comparing them to each other on a hard surface, not a soft surface. A soft surface, like if you do it on carpet, you'll be interpreting the softness of the carpet and maybe the padding under the carpet, in addition to the actual softness of the slide. So you actually want to try on slides when you try them on a hard surface to see how soft they really are. The least soft underfoot and the least comfortable underfoot is definitely the Puma, but it's not that far off from the Ultra SE JDI Nike sandal. These two are really quite similar. You can feel this one is slightly more uncomfortable underfoot, but it's very, very minimal. Now that leaves the Benassi Solar Soft and the Hurley. These both feel good underfoot, but this one, the Solar Soft, wins because that Solar Soft material is so soft and so nice. The combo of the Solar Soft, which is on the top, the midsole, and the flex in the outsole feels awesome. Same with the padding in the upper, or in the strap. The Hurley sandal is very close, but it's a bit stiffer. It doesn't have that squish softness that Solar Soft has. So overall, the best underfoot feel is the Benassi Solar Soft. Okay, so that leaves us with our overall ranking. I mean, overall, the Benassi Solar Soft wins this hands down. Soft underfoot, flexible, and the price is $35. $35. So it's the cheapest, it's the softest, it's the best feeling. It's all black. There wasn't a ton of colorways in it, but you can check out online. I'm sure they released different ones throughout the summer. The second was Hurley. The price point again was $40. It's also a comfortable slide. I would not get rid of this or return this if I had it, which I do, because it's still just an excellent slide. The Benassi JDI comes in third, and this one is not as comfortable. I like the white, but overall I would probably return this because how many slides do you really need? And then fourth is Puma. You know, the only redeeming quality about this is the aesthetic. I love the watermelon, and for that reason I'm totally keeping it because it's so fun. But this will not be like the slide I take everywhere all the time because it's just not, it's not that comfortable. Where the Benassi, like, I'm gonna go find more of these, Solar Soft Benassi, I'm gonna find more of these, and this is gonna become my go-to slide until something else knocks it out. Okay, let me know what slides you guys have. This is only 4 of literally hundreds that are out there. There's so many great options. Tell me if you like this Solar Soft Benassi, and also, what slide's better? Like, if there's a better slide, tell me, I'll find it and compare it, okay? All right, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. See ya.